No, it was
I think it
Wanda.
wasn't it?
No, the idea is Wanda's been sending all of them.
Yeah, okay.
That's why the demon didn't start absorbing her power.
I think
It was because he was just catching her, and
Yeah.
he was going to bring her to Wanda. So Wanda can, because of the dark hold, can just summon demons, I guess.
Yeah, I think that was just like I probably misheard a line of dialogue. One of the few times that they actually put a bit of dialogue, which were like, oh, okay, that one line of dialogue, but I just missed that one. So I don't know why I'm complaining about missing dialogue or like dialogue that could supplement the movie.
Should miss it when it's happening.
I'm not even paying attention. So... Hello and welcome to Two Rules Podcast. I am your host, Liam Reedy, and today I'm being joined by Sam Mills, and we're talking Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for giving us a little listen. If you like what you hear, give us a little follow on Instagram or Twitter, or a like on Facebook, wherever you do your social media. As coming up soon, we've got our Moon Knight review, Rogue One, and the Blade trilogy. And that's just coming up this month in May. Also, if you want to support the podcast, head on over to shop2reels.com. Over there you can find t-shirts, hoodies, bags, mugs and more. But without further ado, let's get into the podcast. So Sarah Vinovich.
It's
very hard.
If you see it, it's said how it's spelt, and it's so easy, but I just forget it. More than 2 syllable names, I'm done. Donahue.
If you read like Masterson, you're like, Master Wada?
Donna,
Yeah, just like
Donna, yeah? No.
Just like Doctor Strange not being able to understand the word Illuminati.
Illuminati.
God.
Or speaking Spanish.
I mean, so obviously it's like he didn't learn to speak Spanish in his.
I get that,
Yeah.
but I kind of assumed he'd applied a spell where he just talks all languages.
Yeah, but you got to make some differentiate the two universes, you know, especially when we first see him and he's being so I read up that, I mean, again, having to do this is very much a trope of Marvel, but I read up that the Doctor Strange that we see initially in the movie is Doctor Strange, but he's in the Defenders.
Oh,
so like obviously the Defenders are like, you know, Daredevil, Luke Cage, but like street level Avengers.
Oh, and
that's what
the universe he's from is they are still street level ones as well.
Yeah.
So he's like a less powerful, or is he just?
I mean, just like he just is part of that team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Doctor Strange in the Defenders is a bit mental.
I know, right?
Like Captain America outranks the Defenders. I'm not saying there's a hierarchy in superhero teams, but there is. Captain America being in the Defenders fits, but at the same time you're like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, he's superpowered. Well, no, a lot of them superpowered.
He's Captain America. Doctor Strange is way too OP'd for street level.
That's
crime.
what I was
He'd do it all on his own.
Yeah. So
anytime anything happened, you'd be like, Strange, go sort this out.
Yeah, I know, right? He's maybe it's a one-man band. I didn't really like, because obviously it says about what universe they are. I can't remember which one he is in. Yeah. This Defender Strange, but that's like his designation in the film.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's a bit weird that.
So I was just reading up on the
Doctor Strange
cameos.
is not out of all of the Marvel characters I can think of. He is not one I would put in the Defenders.
That's what I was thinking. I had to read it twice. Yeah. And they obviously so I was looking on a website about the cameos, obviously, and because he's the first variant, I guess. So or like cameo that there's a different Strange. I mean, obviously
it could be a variant because variants are sort of allowed to live now.
This is getting very complicated. We're gonna get into one of my gripes about the movie, which I mean I can look over, but I want them just.
Can't ignore.
You could have just added a line, and it would have been all cleared up.
Too many times,
but they didn't. Yeah. But I'll get to that. But going through the list on this website of like all the cameos that happened in this movie. The first one was there's another Doctor Strange. I was just going to call him Ponytail Strange because I mean he's Doctor Strange with streaks in his hair with a ponytail. Yeah. So So you know, with the opening of the film, I thought it was good. So with the opening of the film, you know, it's something that that Marvel films have done well recently is like their openings.
Yeah, to really grab you in.
It's just
Reminded me a little.
sticking the landing is a lot harder.
Oh, yeah,
Looking
their
at you, Black
takeoffs.
Willow.
Their takeoffs, fantastic.
Black Widow. I called it Black Willow.
Black Willow. I mean,
Like
why
from
not?
Buffy.
Who cares?
But with black hair instead. Sorry.
That's how much I care that I don't even care that you missaid it.
Yep.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Or they just never listen to me.
Their takeoffs are fine. It reminded me a little bit about, sort of a little bit, but even more straight into it than Guardians 2.
Yeah.
It's a similar sort of thing going on as well. Big tentacly monster and just kind of like a lot going on. You're like, oh, okay, this is quite cool and colourful. I liked.
It's a good hook.
I feel like we've seen that, not universe, but that area in different things and stuff before. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in like the Spider-Man cartoon, a couple of them. That whole idea where it's all wibbly wobbly and that like
Yeah,
they
can't
go
really-
into the realm between realms sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was a good interpretation of it. I liked that. It was cool.
How did they get into the realm between realms if America, Chavez,
Yeah. Do
her
we,
power is to just transfer between multiverses?
do we assume that, which we hate doing?
Dude,
Tell me,
yeah,
don't
I
show
know,
me.
right? Yeah, just tell me.
Do we assume that Strange had his own door? Or
Maybe.
Maybe. Her and her went for a door because obviously there's
They should have just
Strange
said
had his
that.
way into the Sanctuary. So
Should have just said that with a line like, "This is the way we did it last time.
yeah.
Can we do that now?" He could have just said no. You know.
Or even, do you know when he's trying to work it out and he's going, "It has to be something personal to me." Just replace it with her going, "Last time to access it, it was a door. There was something he had to have something personal of his own or something on his like that sort of thing." So she said it, and it calls back to how she got into the, what do they call it? It's the realm between realms. What do they call it? Rachel calls it something when they go in the second time.
Oh, I don't know.
Can't remember the layway or something like that.
Yeah, the leeway.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Layway. Can't remember. But she calls it something. Yeah. So it's just something where America does a line instead of him trying to work out. Oh, it'd be something personal to me. Dialogue again.
Yeah.
Some relevant
Just a
dialogue
line,
from
just a
her
line.
where it's actually just her going, well, last time to get in, Strange was the only one who had access. Something like that. He used his ponytail. But yeah, brilliant way opening it thing. Good little like opening fight, kind of a fight, sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
The monsters, the beastie, bit of a CGI beastie, but forgivable because of what it was supposed to be.
So the demons.
Yeah.
Another thing that I was trying to work out, which is probably just me getting the wrong end of the stick, but the demons, like the one-eyed tentacle monster.
Yeah.
Had to be careful how I said that. But the the monster, who was it sent by? Was it sent by the demon who was chasing them before, or was it by Wanda all along?
You revealed. No. Yeah. No, it was.
I think it
Wanda.
was, wasn't it?
No, the idea is Wanda's been sending up all of them.
Yeah, okay.
That's why the demon didn't start absorbing her power.
I think
It was because he was just catching her, and
Yeah.
he was going to bring her to Wanda. So Wanda can, because of the dark hold, can just summon demons, I guess.
Yeah, I think that was just like I probably misheard a line of dialogue. One of the few times that they actually put a bit of dialogue, which were like, oh, okay, that one line of dialogue, but I just missed that one. So I don't know why I'm complaining about missing dialogue, or like dialogue that could supplement the movie.
Should miss it when it's happening.
I'm not even paying attention. So
But yeah, no, brilliant. I think great opening, good little starting bit. It wasn't like this is a darker Strange. It very much did do well, which becomes a theme throughout the whole thing of all Strangers are the same, and they've all got this willingness to go dark very quickly, because even Strange does it. Towards the end with it, like he so quickly, when he can't do the Shang-Chi, his immediate thing is we need the Darkhold.
yeah.
After just being told a million times it always went wrong,
Yeah.
he's still like, don't care, to solve this, it's the only way to do it, I'm willing to do it. The whole point is he's willing to make the hard call, which is on brand for the character.
Very on brand for the
like
character.
it's absolutely, he is the whole
One of the characters that they haven't kind of between movies, and he's been in quite a few now.
Yeah.
So that they haven't just been like, oh, he's a lot different now.
Yeah.
Whereas he has changed a little bit, obviously from the first iteration of Doctor Strange. But the one thing that I saw a meme which was like, I can completely understand that is if people are just watching Doctor Strange 1 or the original Doctor Strange, and they haven't seen anything, the 5 people out there that haven't seen any other Marvel film up until this point. It's just that meme of like Troy from Community coming in with the pizzas and like everything's on fire. And he's just like, what the hell's happened here? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's such a difference in like, even though they're stylistically, that there's similarities. It's just like it's Doctor Strange dialed up to like 1,000.
Yeah. But it's that line the Strange number 1 because he's the first one we see, or number 2 because he's Ponytail Strange. Says about that in the ground. You can see he is not a darker version or a corrupt version. He is the same Stephen Strange that we know, but done the whole in the grand calculus of everything. I need to sacrifice you, which I feel like without Strange having that dream, maybe he might have done that.
Might have done it, yeah.
And it was having that dream and seeing it almost from an outside perspective. It kind of kept himself in check, but it was like it was the same guy making that decision, just in a different situation, and the way you do it, and then in the grand calculus, and you're kind of like, because what it parallels to me is later on. I know we're jumping a bit. Is Wong with Wanda, where she's torturing the people that are already dying, and caving because she's torturing them. It's such a movie trope where it's like, right, this person is Sorcerer Supreme. They have to make hard decisions for the greater good, and for genuinely the greater good, and not supervillain greater good. I mean, the genuine greater good.
They actually said it in this film, didn't they? They said Wanda says for the greater
Wanda
good,
says in some ways it's for
I
the
couldn't
greater
not
good.
just under my breath just like the greater good.
Anyone that doesn't do it is I judge them.
Is not British.
There's something wrong with them. They're missing something from their lives or brain. So what it parallels for me is him making like that decision, and like you're like, because if Doctor Strange makes that decision, like giving up the time zone, you're like, I get it, because the idea, this guy sees everything. He's got the big picture. He literally has the big picture. So when Wong is there and caves to maybe it's supposed to be a reflection on the character. It's like this Stephen wouldn't have, but he did. Wong telling her where the original Darkhold was.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you just killed those people anyway.
Yeah.
Just let her. I get it, and the idea is it's like, it's a storytelling device where it's like, look, Wong can't spare, can't just ignore innocence.
Also,
it's
that
like,
he is different to Stephen.
And as an audience, there would have been people who were like, oh, I can't let Wong let those people die, and you're like, yeah, but think about it, he couldn't have let those people. But I get it, but it's like, oh, we see Wong differently now, and I get it, because in that moment, as a character, we're seeing him make a moral choice. But it bugs me a little bit. I was like, no,
it is such a
shouldn't have caved. Just why is that there?
You are right, though. It's such a Hollywood trope to be like the whole. I'm looking at it like deconstructing the scene. So Wanda, after she turns evil, is like she has Wong, and she's just like obviously he just one of the disciples of Carmitage destroys the book, and the Darkhold, which was seen at the end of WandaVision, and it's got a hold on Wanda, and like we said just a minute ago,
in a good one-liner to explain it, and I think it is a great way to get us from why she's not Wanda into it. Strange comes in, one line, it's not Wanda anymore, it's the Scarlet Witch, and you're like, cool,
that's all you need.
So much exposition,
kind of cool,
in a sentence. And it's so I'm like, you're not like, oh, I can't believe Wanda did this. It's not Wanda anymore. It just explains, but it doesn't go, Wanda's been corrupted by the Darkhold, and now the Darkhold has Wanda corrupted, so it's not Wanda anymore, it's a Scarlet. You're like,
which is surprising because they do that type of hand holding the rest of the movie.
I know, but that was brilliant. That was a brilliant example of what it should have been.
We'll talk about the scene where she reveals to Doctor Strange
Brilliant
that she's
such a good.
She's
scene.
evil now.
So good.
I didn't do it justice by saying, "Oh, she's evil now," but
yeah.
It is one of those. Doctor Strange does a Columbo.
Yeah,
and she realizes that she's made a mistake where they're talking, and then Doctor Strange tells Scarlet Witch about America Chavez, and without saying her name, and that's what gives it away that Scarlet Witch knows about her and has evidently, even though I wasn't listening, has been sending the monsters through dimensions all along, using the Darkhold, which was seen at the end of WandaVision in the kind of last scenes and stuff.
Where she,
I think it corrupted Agatha, didn't it?
Corrupted Agatha.
So it wasn't just in the final scene. It was in the last episode.
Yeah, it's in Agatha's dungeon, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's where it is.
Yeah. So I love the connectivity. Obviously, that's the staple of Marvel. And I was thinking about this recently, that someone said to me, like, "Oh, what if someone hasn't seen WandaVision?" And I said to that person, I was like, "Have you seen WandaVision?" Yeah. And they're like, "Yes." And I just said to them, I was like, "Are you like a casual Marvel fan? Like, there are levels to this, you know?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I just said, "Well, there you go. Like, if the average, cinema goer Marvel fan has seen WandaVision." Which I think, like, because it was the first series on Disney Plus that was Marvel, I feel like a lot of people have seen it.
George hasn't,
and evidently,
but it didn't take him long.
No,
to
and
catch up.
they explain it not amazingly, but they allude to it so much so that you don't really need to have seen it. It just adds to it. Yeah. It's probably recommended that you do, but yeah. And, I said to him, I was like, well, Doctor, not to get too off topic, but Doctor Strange had like one of the biggest Marvel opening weekends. It's already made like $500 million.
Yeah.
Off the back of like, the Scarlet Witch is going to be in it, continuing on from WandaVision. Yeah. It's going to have Doctor Strange continuing on from Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah. So it's like the casual cinema goer, majority have seen WandaVision. Yeah. So they've got to a point where, even though I think it's even easier than with Star Wars, it's like the people who are going to see Marvel films, they've seen the TV series. Yeah. And it's not even like, oh, it's half and half, like, oh, half have and half have. It's a bit of a risk taking that and including stuff that was only in a TV show. People have seen it or they know about it.
It's brilliant. There's this whole, I don't want to say generation because it's not an age thing. No. But this whole category or audience now of we're nerds, we've been nerds, we know the comic books, we watched Marvel because of the comics and things like that. There are now just people that don't read comics, would no way describe them as nerds or any kind of thing like that. Law, they're probably spending most of the time watching like murder mysteries, not doing murder mysteries, like serial killer things, like that, and nothing about them is saying like nerdy stereotype. And then you talk to them and they're like, oh, the Marvel movies. They are Marvel movie fans.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's it. There isn't. It isn't. They're Marvel like
fans through the movies.
It's in the zeitgeist of cinema goers now. It's not. Yeah. I wouldn't even say that comic book movies are a nerdy thing.
No, not at all. They're not.
They are the in thing.
They're the movie. Yeah, they're the popular movies.
It's not even as big as the genre is, or even was 20 years ago. It's now so big that it is just culture.
Yeah, it's just pop culture.
It's just a level of pop culture.
Absolutely, yeah.
And my parents have seen WandaVision, and they'll probably see this. Yeah, so yeah. It's not, and it's not something that's age limited. No. Or you needed to have a desire to see.
Or you need to know
comic book films before. Oh yeah, God no. Yeah,
it's just
there's millions and tens, and I mean probably tens of hundreds of millions of people around the world who have never picked up a comic book, but because there is now a library of comic book movies that's easily accessible, and it's just like, so they introduced the aspects of WandaVision into Doctor Strange. And yes, they gave a couple of lines, those I was probably listening to, but then I'd seen WandaVision already, so it's like, you know, the story's cohesive enough that you can bank on most people knowing already what's going on.
You said it right at the beginning as well.
Which is weird because no other movie will be able to do
Marvel's staple is that they're connected.
Yeah.
So at this point, the argument of like, oh, I can't watch a Marvel movie because I haven't seen the others. It's like, why even bothering? Don't get annoyed by it. Just don't watch it or watch them.
Yeah.
The whole point of Marvel is they're in this one connected universe, and there's going to be mention from the other things.
Yeah.
And they're not going to waste time explaining something that's already been shown to the majority of the audience. It's like, it's not a complaint anymore.
Even saying that, you know, it's got elements coming through from WandaVision and from No Way Home. I'd probably say you'd probably not have to have seen it, but the one that you probably should have seen it would have helped is No Way Home.
Yeah.
Because in terms of like the dialogue balancing out whether you have and haven't seen it, there's not a lot to say. Like, yes, Wanda mentions it, but it's not an explaining. It's more just a hinting at, like, whereas with WandaVision and you know the elements of that they are explained. I think.
And even that you could. I think the way a good way you could judge that it works well is WandaVision could have come out second. So all the references in this, where she talks about Westview, and he says about the kids aren't real, and the other way round, it would have hit different, but would all the same dialogue, and you'd have been like, "What's Westview? Like, what, the kids aren't real? What? Yeah, where is this obsession with the kids come from?" And then WandaVision came out, and you go, "Oh, okay." So it would have actually worked the other way around. Probably not as well.
I think that's maybe the one thing.
But it is.
Yeah, I think
you've got to give it credit to that.
With that, I think even though they're all connected, and you know, it's the MCU, it's just all forever expanding. I feel like if you're watching this just by itself, even though, you know, from what I've said, it's like it's got outside influences. Even though if you're watching it by itself as a self-contained thing, it is still something you could watch.
Yeah,
you could just be like, okay. I'm not saying if you haven't seen any Marvel film, that might be going in a bit too cold. Yeah, but I don't know if there's that many people.
So a lot of people coming out like going, they're a bit not confused at like what's happened, but they're a bit like, that was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot going on there. I'm a bit what, and I'm like, okay, oh, you know what happened? They're like, I was following the plot, but it's a bit, there was a lot there, right? And I'm like, but it's the multiverse.
Yeah,
they've got a lot to cover.
So if you haven't watched anything since Endgame, which I can see because, you know, that's the largest one since. So in between that and obviously Spider-Man, No Way Home. So if you haven't seen anything since Endgame, it's still something you could watch.
Yeah,
and you could follow along.
Yeah,
you know? Might take another one because there's a lot. There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah.
Which, you know, but I still think that
it was called Multiverse of Madness, so I feel like the title gave us a clue what was.
There's going to be a lot going on.
We've been, since the build up of this, we've been told the title's Multiverse of Madness, so you're expecting it to be a little bit not linear.
Yeah, all over.
A lot going on. Because I kind of wanted it to be a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Like Joke is saying, he loved how they just kept introducing more insane elements. Brilliant, because it's called the Multiverse of Madness. Live up to that title. Don't just Marvelize it. And then we've also been told it's going to have horror elements. I feel like they delivered on that. That's the bit I was a bit skeptical about. They absolutely delivered on the horror aspect to it. There's some really, really creepy shots and stuff in there.
The reason I was skeptical is because my hands have been burned before when they first dropped the initial trailer for Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Which had very horror,
especially
horror
with the Pinocchio.
vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's when sung like that is a very there are no strings on me. I know he said Ultron ends up saying it as a line.
Yeah.
But and then the way they marketed the initial trailer, not the ones after that, because it was more like more of the same.
Yeah.
Avengers kind of thing. I don't mind Age of Ultron. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I rate it higher than a lot of people.
A lot of people are just like it's rubbish.
This is one of the things we've said this before. Age of Ultron rates quite high for us too.
And James Spader's great. Anyway,
bring back Ultron.
Yeah, and so you
made
know,
a bit of an appearance in this.
They did have and they did have her by her I mean Wanda initially start out as the kind of the horror hero, or the horror, even like she was an antagonist. She wasn't really a villain.
And the first few couple of scenes you see her in that thing, it's very creepy, and I love her hand movements. It's always been very, very horror in the way it's like she embraced the witch thing, her hand movements and stuff.
She has she has been compared to, like, they've taken a lot of elements of like The Ring.
Yeah, well, that was in here. Yeah, that was that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I hate that.
I thought it was cool.
No,
I know it's horror, man.
No, I mean, I hate it in the way that I'm supposed to.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm terrible with
like the way
little girl, intended. The Ring and The Grudge. I can't do it. And when she came out of that gong doing The Ring or The Grudge, honestly, I was like, and that is one of the notable moments. One of the notable moments of me going, yep, horror. Okay, I'll give you that. That was horror. And the photo, when she's taken over other Wanda, and they look and you see the photo all that, and she just goes like that. I'm like, no.
I mean, I wasn't scared. Like, I'm worse at jump scares, if I'm being honest.
No,
I can watch anything.
Yeah.
But jump scares, like, they get me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I'm not as affected by jump scares. I'm affected by creepy idea scares, like imagery that will haunt me for a little bit. And that photo is one. And her coming out like I can't do it.
I think it was
just shuddered.
It worked. Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No.
I'm terrified of it. That's why I don't like it. So they did what they were supposed to do.
Definitely did.
But I can't. I'm a huge wuss when it comes to those sort of things.
And Elizabeth Olsen was good at the turn.
Good.
She's good at the. So we all thought she was normal, not normal Wonder, but like same old Wanda, and then like within 10 minutes after, well, like 5 minutes even after her initial appearance in the movie, you're believing that she's lost it.
And it is because of that line from Strange. Jumping back to the scene, I say it's such a good scene, because I'm sure there are people out there that they clocked that she said the name, but I didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So the whole dialogue was playing along and stuff like that, and it was weird. Do you know what it was that gave away? Where I started to go, that was weird. She goes, "Why don't you bring her here?" And his face, and it's so between the two of them, such good acting, because there was no words spoken, there was no gestures.
Very good acting.
She just
kind
of
goes. There was a lot of acting going on in that.
There was a lot of acting going on.
Yes,
and it's just and I believe that she'd given up the magic and stuff. I know we saw her looking for her boys and stuff, but the idea and you're like, she's back to one. Or even if she hasn't given up the magic, it's more like I believe she was being recruited, and it was going to see WandaVision being a good show and a massive swerve is one of my favorite things of this whole thing.
Yeah,
WandaVision exists to make us believe for the first 2 minutes of this film that she's a good guy.
Yeah,
I absolutely. Someone said to me,
they did a fucking 4-hour setup.
So, like, incredible, and I'm okay with it. I'm like, brilliant. But yeah, so that bit where she's doing it, and then she's walking along, and she says about why don't you bring her here? And I'm like, that's weird, right? He just said about defensively. Okay, and then he stops, and I'm like, oh god, what's going on? And she just goes, you didn't say her name, did you? And I was like, oh, he didn't.
Yeah.
Such a good reveal. Very Columbo, like you said, the thing. And I watched on the second watch, it's a gap. It's not, she doesn't say any clocks. He's still walking along with her talking.
Yeah.
And then she says about one that you bring her here, in his brain, and you just see.
He puts perfect. 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, and you see it happen in his face.
Detective
so
Strange.
Subtly. Suddenly, he had a bit of his other multiversal self, Sherlock, came out. And
that's true. Yeah.
That was and it was so well done. And then it's the way she's like, the hex was really easy. it's the lying that wasn't, and then the turn and everything's
Nice, yeah.
dead.
I thought that
It won't be Wanda coming. It'll be the Scarlet Witch.
I felt like I didn't see that it coming that she was in like this fucking burnt out
No.
forest, you know.
Especially because he'd already sort of like... That's what's really good as well. They dismissed the idea that it was all magic. Because he said, oh, it almost smells real. And she's like, I'm giving up magic, that thing. And he doesn't go, that's not true, is it? He believed it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
she fooled Strange. And you're like, well, if she's fooling... Like, if Strange is saying it's not magic, it's not magic. So yeah, it was a perfect swerve. But WandaVision exists now just for essentially a 2 minutes worth. And I love it. Love it. Absolutely love that.
Well worth it. You know.
Absolutely. No more WandaVision. Everyone's like, I can't wait for WandaVision Series 2. Or I'm like, well, they can't call it WandaVision. It'll have to be called Wanda, right? There's no second season, which is great. It's a perfect little series of independence on its own.
They don't all need to be. I don't think there's going to be
wouldn't have been as good.
Wouldn't have
been as good. No, it wouldn't have been as good. No. There's no reason for those. They're kind of self-contained. And now it's confirmed because I don't see how we'd watch that.
So my first gripe,
yeah,
which I've already talked about after the movie,
which is the following scene,
is the fact that America Chavez is America Chavez.
You've said this. The name bugs you.
The name.
She's from another Earth that we don't necessarily have confirmed in America exists.
Yeah.
And her name is America Chavez.
Yeah.
Joe gave us a bit of lore on this for the comic and stuff, and even the lore's a little bit like, oh yeah, she calls herself Miss America because her first name's America, and it's also very much like, and I respect what they were trying to do. I just feel like they could have put it across a few different characters rather than shoving it all into one. But they've done a little bit of a I don't want to say box ticky because then I feel like I'm being those people.
Have they merged a few different characters?
They wanted to together? Make her too.
No, they were. That is a little bit like
they've just put so many diversities into one character, and it's like
she's LGBTQ plus. She's got two mums. She's also Mexican, Hispanic, but her name's America, so she's supposed to represent America. Yeah, got it.
And it's like all absolutely fantastic concepts, brilliant ideas. Why it just could you? Why don't we should have had a team of people doing this? Like
I feel like
or
maybe
just,
not 10 of them,
why
like the Eternals,
or an era where these things are just normal amongst all the heroes that are being released in the new ones. Why did you cram it?
Here's the thing: I'm not even really bothered. I'm not even really bothered about that.
I like the character. I really like her.
Why does the
name? It's the name, isn't it?
Why does it? Is it the fact that look from another dimension where I don't think there's an America.
You don't know if there's an America.
My example yesterday was like, what if your name is Blip Blop and you get it taken to another dimension
where that's a country
with like 500 million people in it, and they, it's just I don't know. It's one of those things where you can't not get. I don't know. It's just I'm just shaking my head. It's just. I'm okay with it.
And also, to be fair, the world where we get in the memories shot, the shot we get of her, like the very small glimpse of her world we get, doesn't look like a world that would have an America in it.
No, because it looks too nice.
It looks like Utopia.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It looks too good.
It looks really nice and acceptable.
That's the reason why I'm like, there's not an America. Joe was like, there could be an America in that universe. I said, look at it.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
It looks like Star Trek like place.
It looks like, when
Starfleet.
When Doctor Strange and America Chavez, they obviously eventually escapes, to a certain degree from the Scarlet Witch and go into another dimension. At that point where she can't control her powers.
Yeah,
we'll get to the other bit just before that. But they go to obviously the next universe, which is
838. It was Strange 838, wasn't it?
I'd have to double check.
I'm sure she calls him. It's something like she calls him Strange 838.
I thought it was 616.
No. So our Doctor Strange is 616.
Yep.
And then Rachel refers to her one as 838 or 868 or it's something 8. I think it might be 838.
Yeah, but that universe.
Yeah.
Let's say
Illuminati universe. Did you notice it was
Illuminati universe. That's what I mean. It was like the middle ground. It was like it was like the middle ground between America's world where it's like utopia basically. Whereas this one's just like, look, they make they're kind of one with nature as well as having technology.
Exactly, it was a city full of flowers and plants and grants and stuff like that.
It's so kind of idyllic that just rainbows are different. That like the sky can be a rainbow, and I'm just like. Yeah, I'm just like they're trying to say like, look, everywhere's better than here, mate. Like, so, especially when America says the fact that you have to pay for food in your universe where it's mostly
really
free.
Yeah,
I was just like
very Star Trek.
Yeah, very
Star Trek idea.
Quite like
So basically saying, most places don't have capitalism.
Everywhere else is idyllic, but yours
everywhere
just
else
like all right,
have capitalism.
Yeah, bang us over the head.
And Thanos didn't invade those places.
I bet. Yeah, that's what I am going to say quickly before we go back is that I don't know whether Doctor Strange looked at just his time. He just looked at his timeline.
Yes,
didn't he?
His universe. He doesn't know about the multiverse. So because I feel like if he knew. I feel like by doing that spell, it would teach him the multiverse. Because he's not just looking, is he? He knows what he's... It's information and stuff. So this would be like, this isn't your universe. And it'd be like, oh, other universes. No, he's
just in that universe.
In his universe, it was the one thing.
Yeah.
This is
good,
now...
because when there's a shot before... We're not going to get too far ahead just yet, but... there is the shot where there's a dead Thanos on screen, and I was just like, well...
Where? Really? I think I know which bit you're talking about. We'll get to it.
We'll get to
okay.
It. Yeah. I was just looking around, like, am I the only one who's thinking that's not 1 in 14 million? Then is it? But if it's in his just the 616,
it's just 616.
Then that's fine.
Because he doesn't know about the multiverse until. Sort of, but not really until No Way Home.
Yeah.
So I think the idea is it's his timeline is contained within that. It's like I very much get the idea that it's almost like a representation of Strange is knowledge. Yeah. He is the personification of knowledge. So he is only as powerful. He gets more powerful as his knowledge grows. And it's very much like, so in some respects, 838 probably would have been more powerful than him. Not just because of the dark hole, but anyway, jumping back, because it's not a scene you can ignore.
Yes, it's not.
You've already expressed a bit of a problem with it, with the Marvel quippiness compared to the seriousness of the scene, but when her showing up, brilliant. Like the arming of Carmitage has to now become a fortress. Brilliant stuff. Reminded me a little bit Helm's Deep. Lord of the Rings, something like the march. Do you know what I mean? Like it reminded me. It's not. Don't worry, nothing's as good as that.
That's gonna say.
But it's like
it's nothing like that. But it's like it.
Nothing like that. Not that at all. But that no. And it's just the marching out, arming up. That was really cool. Seeing the wizards and like all the sorcerers and people coming in and like brilliant. Like little bit of like things set up. The clouds coming in, then turning red, and her coming out of it. And then that conversation and dialogue between the two of them, again, it's bizarre. You've got these two fantastic actors doing amazing acting while floating in the air.
Yeah.
And you've got to imagine in real life, they were just on wires. Yeah. But still able to maintain that seriousness up. Such good dialogue and stuff between them. Their back and forths and rapport in not banter. It's not banter. No, I don't know what you'd call it. But it's there.
It's just a rapport, isn't
it? The rapport. Is it a rapport? Yeah. Is so good, and the way when she comes in closer, and it's just like that, and it's when she's doing her dialogue about really kind of like, it's one of my favorite shots, I think, and probably one of my favorite possibly pieces of dialogue from Marvel now. Her explaining I was being reasonable and all that stuff, and it's the way she's twitching, and you can see her mouth twitching and stuff like that, and she's just like, and even now, just know that everything I do. It's still, and she's almost shaking with fury. It's so good, so good. I like how he, and aside from the quip thing, he does go serious. I love that. Like he tries to have a conversation with her and reason, and as soon as she starts to threat, he's like, all of us stand against you.
He's not very Marvel quippy at that point with her. It's more just
when he's down with Wong. It's just anytime he's with Wong.
Yeah.
No pressure there. Then that's a
it's a good scene, and it's a very good. It's good to just see. She's not just like throwing fire. Psychic, whatever fireballs and stuff. she then is just like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm just gonna get him the weakest person's head.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just like take them
And
down
even
from
then,
the
when
inside.
even then, when she sort of seems to like, you're like, these are all like trained sorcerers. How does she take them down so quickly? Again, one little line from Wong before.
Well, she only has to take one person down.
No, but when she does get in,
oh, okay, yeah,
they're firing arrows at her. They're firing all
yeah.
kinds of stuff, and she's just sort of shaking it off.
Oh yeah.
But didn't have a problem with that whatsoever, because again, just one little perfect little exposition line from Wong. She has unfathomable magic power. The whole point of the Scarlet Witch is she is absolutely terrifying. You are just people that have learnt magic. She is magic.
Yeah.
And you can fire any kind of magic arrows out there. She can do that back at you with a thought, and it's nothing. And her taking them all out so easily absolutely makes sense. You get why they were just literally making a shield rather than battling her. It's not. Oh, here comes the Marvel villain, just wipes the floor with everyone. It's like, it made sense to the story,
and we've seen her powers build up over time.
Exactly,
so
it is established that this is and even again, because of in the lines of WandaVision, anyone that wants to go, why didn't she just do that against Thanos? It's like, well, the idea is she could have. She just didn't realize she could.
Yeah.
But there is the argument.
She almost did. That's the point.
Exactly.
Thanos decided to rain down missiles on his own army and like everywhere on the battlefield to stop her.
Yeah.
So he literally knew he was in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's something that's been building for so long that it's actually just good to see her use the almost like full potential in a film, but then you're like, holy shit, she's the villain. So
yeah.
It's like
so happy with that. Someone said to me, one thing they didn't like is they feel like they had this story. We've already seen this story in WandaVision where she like had like hurt a load of people and then redemption. And I'm like, I get where they're coming from. I do understand that.
When you put it in a sentence like that, yes,
yeah, but I don't agree.
No,
because it's not the same story.
No.
It's not at all. This is the next chapter of the story. It's we've seen that they're capable of it, but they brought themselves back, and then they just went deeper. And it's not Wanda anymore. That was Wanda that did that. This isn't Wanda. This is Scarlet Witch's story, and it's the Darkhold. This is the Darkhold doing this, and it's not one of these like I'm seeing the same story again. Like not at all. This is the next chapter of that story. But yeah, it's just that scene's brilliant, and then what that scene leads into, which I guess it's technically the same scene or same act.
Yeah,
creepy as anything, where she gets into the fortress and then starts taking them out and breaks through and come through the reflection, like turns her own magic against them. It's just all so
she gets imprisoned temporarily,
temporarily,
and then just like in the reflection, she just goes into the reflections.
Yeah.
And just...
I feel like it is a reflection on her, on that she is magic. So they're stopping her with magic and they're holding her off. But at the end of the day, you're using the thing that she is, so she can just turn that thing into what she needs it. And it was like, and the reflection things are always a bit creepy and stuff like that. It's like it's that when the eye appears and stuff. There was, but yeah, it was, and then she comes out the gong, just annihilates the rest of them. It's such a good scene, and it's just all of that so good of it. She grabs Chavez anytime. I do like that she didn't learn the lesson from the monster, because anytime you grab her, she just opens a portal apparently. And then it got us, it's how they were telling the story and stuff, and that's fine. Again, it wasn't like, why is she doing that? It's like, we know she does that, like, but at the same time she probably has no other way of dragging it out of her. So and if Strange hadn't have tackled her, she actually would have just absorbed all her power.
I have another gripe that the portals are star shaped.
Don't like that.
No,
I'm guessing that is
it's a hangover from the comic.
Yeah. But no, I didn't really like that. It's to be maybe her jacket, to do with her jacket or something, or the star. Yeah,
she's called America, and the stars she makes are the portals she makes are star shaped.
Best meme I've seen though is that I saw this after a film yesterday.
That's like if Captain America punched someone and the fist mark he left was a fucking stars and stripes.
Yeah.
It's like kind of cringy.
Yeah, it's a little bit that. No, best meme I've seen is a Spanish superhero, and her powers is basically to cross borders. I was like, fantastic.
Oh my god.
like a real fuck you to, even more fuck you to America. It's like, yeah, she definitely doesn't come from a world where
she can cross any border without, really without thinking about it in the end of the movie. So,
yeah. So, but yeah, so I get that the star shaped. Yeah, I understand.
It's just that, again,
especially when it's sort of like maybe once you can control it, I'll accept it.
Yeah,
because of her jacket, she might have a thing, but when it's just her raw power,
it should
and
just
it can
look
still
like
be a star
portal.
shape. I don't know, yeah.
But yeah, I like it. The way that it,
the imagery, yeah.
The way it like expands and you can see it from, it like starts like paper thin.
Yeah.
And then you can see like going backwards, and then you can see each universe, and you can. That's why they fall through, and that stuff.
And later on, you see that
great.
she can pull it into one so that it's in front of her.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's great.
Brilliant. That it's just the star shaped thing. I like the tackle because it is a thing in itself. Where he does the tackle and it's that whole them falling through the universes. I thought that was a cool little like
very cool scene.
Very good and I like the way they played with it a little bit. The paint thing's really weird and it's just like there's some really weird wiggy universes leaning into a dream. Oh, sorry, one thing
I'd love to have a breakdown of like what you can see. Like one of the ones I saw,
I would watch a video telling me what each of those universes
was like a black and white kind of sepia. It had like a fucking zeppelin and stuff. And
kind
of cool.
The cartoony weird.
Kind of hoping
there was
that's
a dinosaur one.
The same universe that that Noir Spider-Man.
Maybe it's Noir Spider-Man. That'd be quite a little nice thing. I'm sure there's a video out there where someone's worked it out. The dream. Sorry, just jumping back to an idea that sort of thing. The dreams thing. I kind of like that.
Dream walking or
no, the idea that
dreams
are a window into your other multiversal selves. As a scientific theory, no, but because it's Marvel, and we've got magic, and stuff like that, I kind of like it. I think it's a nice little take.
Do you
know
what it feels
idea.
like? It feels like an element like lifted straight out of like Doctor Who.
Yeah, exactly that.
And where it's just like for entertainment purposes,
sci-fi magic,
kind of cool. Yeah, you know, like how the angels work, where they are stone statues that live in our world.
Yeah,
but when you turn your back, they move.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that doesn't happen in real life, but as an entertainment device, kind of cool.
Little, yeah, absolutely. I like that they kind of also do at the same time though. They're like, right, but what about weird dreams? Wong's little bit of dialogue.
Yeah, no.
About they're like being chased by. So when I'm being chased by a cloud, and she's like, yeah, that's happening somewhere. I'm kind of like, oh, okay. So the idea is
infinite multiverses,
and he does say window into it doesn't say a direct you're watching your multiverse. It's a window into it, so it could be a mental interpretation or a fear or something like that. And I'm like, but then I was thinking about this, I'm like, but that's weird. So like there's a universe where he's being chased by a clown because he's scared of being chased by a clown, but is he scared of being chased by a clown because he has the dream from the universe where he's being scared of being chased by a clown?
That's where it gets a bit headfucky.
I'm a bit like,
and even more like Doctor Who.
Shit, people are scared of falling, and when they have that dream where they're falling, it's like, are they scared of falling because in a multiverse they fell and now they're scared of it? I'm a bit like, it kind of works.
It kind of works.
It doesn't. In no way in science does that work. In sci-fi, I absolutely accept it, and it does. It's got some layers, and anything that's got a bit little layer, I'm like, perfect. So I did like that idea.
It's a very bootstrap theory, that. Isn't it? Where it's just like without one, would the other exist or manifest
exactly.
itself?
And I like that. I like that it's just a little idea and it still kind of has its layer. I'm like, so I like that element to it. And the multiverse wise, it does give a lot of possibilities and things as well.
When they go to the next universe, I want to say 8. Let's say
838
or 838, whatever.
Correct us in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's 838.
And the universe when they get there, I mean, I like the imagery and like the effects and stuff. I think some of the CGI in this film is a bit ropey. Some of the green screen is a bit shit as well.
Yeah.
Mainly at the beginning of the movie. I'm not quite sure what that is.
Yeah.
But because there's so many CGI shots in this film, and a lot of them are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and just like they're so artistic.
Yeah.
You know, it's no way going to take me out of the movie. It's just some of the times I was like, that's some horrible green screen and that's some horrible effects. It doesn't look even slightly realistic like in the world. But the majority of the movie, I thought, obviously the stylization fantastic, as it was with the first, with the whole like the mirror imaging with like how the worlds can turn when they manipulate it.
Yeah.
But they obviously they went a whole hog. They went all different with this. And with let's call it the Illuminati universe.
Yeah. 838.
It's basically. I loved the style. The only thing that got me about it was when they were walking down the street, and there's like it felt very like Back to the Future, where they were like walking down the street, and then there's like something that gives them like some exposition. So like when they're walking along the sidewalk and they step on the button, and it's like they're outside a place called Memory Lane, which the whole premise of the shop is to let you relive your memories. So why do they have a step outside which allows you to view whatever ones you want?
That's a
terrible business model.
It even says in the thing
they're like half price.
We can, So you're like, but they just watch their memories anyway. Also, the bit that bugged me about that bit is, I was ready for her to go, "What did you see?"
Yeah. But apparently everyone can see it.
Everyone could just see your most vulnerable moments.
Imagine if he was thinking about the wrong thing.
No, literally. Like, if you think the real life, which Marvel don't often consider, the blip. Don't even get me started on the real life.
Implications
of what happens when people come back from certain, like in a plane. What happens if you were in a plane?
Yeah, I know.
Just that goes on forever. Just no. That whole thing is no. But yeah,
mid surgery.
Brilliant idea, and then you really break it down. You're like, oh god, what happens there? Yeah. But yeah, so and it is with this, you're a bit like, oh, what if
someone's walking past and they step on it and they're like, Doctor Strange was thinking about him on a date with Christine.
Yeah, no, like,
what if it was 2 hours later?
One of my favorite things about this though is to be fair, they represent one Christine. They did the fringe for young Christine. I thought we were past the fringe.
Oh, what, like changing their
whenever
hair?
they want to show a younger version of a character.
Yeah. They had bangs.
But the bangs. But actually, maybe the age they're supposed to have been, I suppose it would have been bangs.
Yeah, maybe.
But whenever it's that time period, every girl had bangs. Yeah. It's like they do a few different. Rachel McAdams gets to play with a few different hairstyles in this. To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I liked the exposition. We found out how he got his watch. And it does add to... I don't know if we needed more... I don't know if we needed to be told more how much Strange loves Rachel. I feel like we know that even from the first one. I've never gone into this like... Even when she walks out and she's getting married at the beginning, my first instinct wasn't like, oh, that girl he was kind of bothered about. My first instinct was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel's getting married. Because she is Rachel
McAdams, yeah.
Wait, not Rachel. What's her name?
Now. Christine.
Fucking hell, I jumped to her real name, that's why. I was like, oh my god, like, Christine's getting married. Like, it was a bit, without anything being told anything, and just like, we didn't get the girl, that line of it. That guy as well, that was a weird scene. I was a bit like, I get why it was there. Is Marvel doing their whole, like, real life implications?
Yeah.
Quip! No, but yeah, when she came out, my reaction was, oh shit, Christine's getting married. Why is he there?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I get what
even one was like, you went,
you went, but she would have absolutely invited him, and he probably would have gone. And they that's what was about their relationship. It was a friendship as well, and she would have wanted her. Whether he accepted, she would have understood, but she would have invited him and wanted him at her wedding because she, as much as he's like one of the loves of her life. She's one of his dearest and oldest friends. There is more to their relationship. So it makes him being there wasn't like a, what's he doing there? It's more like a, mate, why did you go? Yeah. It's weird that he went. It's more like if you were his mate, you're like, dude, why did you go? Why would you do that to yourself? But yeah, so I was already invested in the Strange Christine thing that I didn't need to see a scene of her giving him the watch and that sort of thing. Especially because of What If. If you've seen What If, you very much get an idea of how much Stephen does love Christine. Like, the whole point is that Stephen loves Christine. It's not a secret. I liked it for America's thing. I don't know if that was I just feel like there was a better way to deliver it.
Yeah, that was very much like we've run out of ideas of like how to visualize both these things and get these two to kind of get to know more about each other.
Even do that. Skip the bit about the memory thing charging them.
Yeah,
but He'd do that. She is watching it, and then he's Doctor Strange. He's looking at why she's having a reaction, and then he does something, and he can see what she sees.
In a film that's literally like...
You
could explain everything with magic in this movie.
Didn't he? He did it with a tentacle monster.
Yeah.
He kind of revealed what wasn't being seen.
Yeah.
So then that's done a spell like that, and you see the same effect happen, and now he's seeing what she sees.
Yeah.
No one else is.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, all that was happening, and even the bit where her parents are being dragged in and stuff like that, no one batted a freaking eyelid as they were walking past.
They're watching two people get sucked into a vortex.
On a thing that they, in the universe, know is someone's actual memory.
Yeah. And they're just like, okay.
And they're just like, it's just another Tuesday.
They're walking down the street like nothing's happening.
Where the sound screaming out of this building.
That's true, yeah. There's a lot of screaming going on.
So, yeah, that was, I feel like it could have been delivered in the same way, but just instead he hacks her mind, sort of like that. Or he's able to see through magic what she sees.
In a film that you've got a hall pass because the characters are magic.
Yeah.
Just make it magic.
And then just skip. It doesn't need the him and Christine. We don't need. We know he loves Christine. I don't need to see another reason why he loves Christine. Oh, she gave him the watch. Great. I'm pretty sure in the first Strange it tells you that.
America Chavez, I'm talking about. She's come from multiple dimensions where there's Doctor Strange. Like, I think she's been to like.
Oh no, she's only been to see one other. Remember, she says she's the second Strange.
Oh, okay.
Met.
I thought she'd been seen. Well,
this is what's weird.
Then again,
there's a line later on where she says he's not the same as all the other strangers.
There you go. What is that?
But she's also said earlier on in the movie, he's the second Strange she's met.
It's kind of contradictory there.
Little bit.
That's what I heard that line where she's like, "You're different to all the other strangers." Hence why I was just like, surely there's there's always loads of Christines.
I feel like I don't think it's a gap. I don't think it's a mistake. I feel like it can be explained, but why does it need to be explained to me? Like, it's a bit contradictory, but I'm sure in one line it's like, oh no, what she meant is this. It's like, okay, we'll dialogue that better.
Speaking of Doctor Stranges, we find out what's happened to this universe's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
By re-meeting, obviously, this universe's Mordo.
Was your initial reaction going to be not that he was... When you saw the statue, did you think dead? Or did you think, fuck me, this guy's arrogant?
Yeah, I thought ego.
It's
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He is an ego.
I went straight into ego, and I thought we were going to see a really cocky, like the most obnoxious Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then when it turned to be thing, I was like, okay.
I thought it'd probably have a plaque on it that says, "Here lives the great and supreme
something
Doctor
like that."
Strange.
Yeah. I was like, even his suit looked a little bit more like suit-like, and I was like, okay, it's going to be a absolute. I was even kind of ready for another actor.
Oh really? Yeah.
Maybe, a bit of like I was imagining being a bit like beefier and then kind of like
a
in
different
Free actor. Yeah, no, nothing like no.
Where he's just got just like he's
no. I kind of expected a different actor altogether, but someone who's like could be compared to Benedict Cumberbatch. You're kind of like, oh, okay, no, that's fair enough. Would have been quite funny. Martin Kemp would have been quite funny.
Jesus.
Not like completely different. He's short.
I
know he's not short and stuff, so it wouldn't have been what I was just saying there. But I feel like having Martin Kemp
nothing
as
like Doctor Strange.
No, but having him as an alternative Doctor Strange would be a little bit of a funny little nod.
That's out of left field.
Yeah. So when that and it turns out he died, and that's fine. So we don't see other Strange, which is okay. That's cool. That's fine. The Mordo thing was quite cool. I'm sorry. As soon as it was Mordo, he was going to betray them.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
That wasn't a swerve.
No. We already knew, Mordo was going to be in the movie again. I just assumed, obviously, just from trailers, that Chiwetel Ejiofor would just be playing our universe's
Mordo. Yeah,
Mordo.
I don't think we
just got caught up to him.
I thought in this though. I thought about this. There's obviously going to be another Doctor Strange movie. I don't think we're done with our universe's Mordo.
No.
Because obviously there's no payoff yet, and what's going on.
Yeah.
We've got actually again some good exposition telling. We are aware that he's not just disappeared and left Strange alone. Through that little bit, we are now aware that he has actually constantly been trying to kill Strange. We just haven't seen it. It's been happening off screen. I'm okay with that. This is the second Doctor Strange movie. There's no place for Mordo in everything else he's been in, really.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, okay, and the years have been passing and things like that. So yeah, Mordo's been trying to kill him since. I'm on board with that. That's fine.
So yeah, he is obviously betrayed by Mordo, and And then we get the introduction of the Illuminati, which were heavily rumored to have been in this movie.
I knew they were in it before it came in,
Yeah.
but not at all what I understand the Illuminati to be.
I mean,
The Illuminati,
the only one who was missing for me, who I know about, is Tony Stark. Yeah.
My understanding of the Illuminati before this movie, and I've never read a comic with them in it, I have just read up on who they are, is, and I use them as an example all the time as well. Quite often in the comics, Reed Richards and Tony Stark are on the wrong side. Like, so often.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
right?
the idea is they're basically just going, if you're really clever, you're going to go bad. Reed Richards and Tony Stark are and the Illuminati, for me, as I understood it, was them creating, and Charles Xavier's in it and stuff like that, them creating a intelligent council rather than a fighting force.
Yeah.
Where they think their way out of situations, stuff like that. But something happens and they start to get a bit too...
For the greater good.
And this has to be done.
Yeah.
And they actually kind of become the villains.
Oh, yeah.
As Reed
Always.
Richards and Tony Stark often do. And that's how I understood the Illuminati to be.
Yeah.
This very much wasn't that. This was the ideal of what they kind of were supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, the original is Namor, Black Bolt, Iron Man, Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Professor X.
Oh, Doctor Strange is in it as well, Professor X.
Yeah. Well, he's the one who, in this universe, he found
set it up.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. I did.
So yeah,
I feel like they kind of explaining it is the idea that all the others have. So obviously, there's no Captain America because Carter.
What do you mean?
So in this universe, the reason there's no Captain America on their council is because
there would
Steve never became Captain America.
All right, okay.
Peggy became Captain Carter. Is the idea that Tony died against Thanos?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't even think
they don't mention him, do they?
Because of the so they have a flashback scene in this. This is where the dead Thanos comes into it.
Yeah, I didn't.
When they have the Illuminati and they actually kill Doctor Strange from their universe. There's a dead Thanos there, but it's just the Illuminati. You don't see any other heroes.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that maybe there are other heroes, but like this is just how it went down in their universe.
The others they waited till everyone else had gone or something like that.
Either that, or I just think that it was just them. They took them down.
They do explain that the Chantry, and very cleverly but elusively, and it makes you wonder more. But I'm not annoyed that they didn't tell me more. The Chantry gives a sorcerer the power to defeat its enemy.
Yeah,
that's the description of it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a fairy tale and stuff anyway, and we never even get to see what
it's a massive red herring in this movie.
One
of my major gripes about this film is the Vishanti is the fucking book that they need to get this whole movie, and it just fucking evaporates, they don't even acknowledge that.
No, they don't even remember.
No, it doesn't even matter.
No,
really.
It's just straight to Darkhold then.
And
there's only one Chantry, but there's loads of Darkholds.
No. So the Darkhold is just one book, but it was transcribed from all those carvings on the wall. But they're all in all universes though.
Oh, I got the idea because it's at the waypoint, the Chantry, the place between universes. Yeah. There's only one.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But it's in the place between all the universes.
Oh, what the Vishanti or the
Vishanti, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's one of those, but there's multiple
Darkholds. Okay, that's fair enough. To be fair, the Chantry is old. We don't know its origin. We don't know what it is. You don't ever really find out what it is.
It's just a red herring, like that they're chasing the whole movie that just comes to nothing.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, oh, really?
I don't know. I'm not too. I wouldn't call it as much. I get why you find it as a gripe, but I do like that the thing that was going to solve the whole problem is just.
It didn't.
It did but it gets.
Or it wasn't enough. Yeah.
It gets because quite often in things itself are like we're gonna get this thing, and we got the thing, and now everyone's saved in a second.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Whereas this was like in real life, and not in real life, but in like if you're trying to ground something a bit, you might get to that thing, and then it gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
My gripe with that scene, it does. Yeah, because she she magics it.
Oh, okay.
And to be fair, the other one got stabbed and break. They break quite easily, these books.
That's
by
true.
the sound of it.
Like books would.
Like books would. But
even though they're magic,
my
they're
gripe with the Chantry thing is that he could have at least opened it and learned a spell or something like that.
Yeah.
If he hadn't done the fucking movie trope
Yeah.
of the slow walk. Like, she's coming, guys. You know she's coming. You've already stopped once and she caught up with you.
That was just stupid.
Why did you stop? You've already stopped once. Okay. It's so that we can have a dialogue scene afterwards where you have to work out what's going on. That would not have been able to happen. Although you panicking and go like that, well, she's coming to you and breaking through the door because maybe her magic's low. I don't know. For some reason, she can't blast through the door. Maybe don't have her blast through the other door so easily so that we know she's working her way. Just keep cutting her back to breaking through, and then it's a love a little bit for it. So you know she's coming anyway. You waited then. That was bad horror movie trope and thing number one. Then you stop, have a bit of a dialogue, jump down, slowly walk over, move up to it slightly, reach slowly for.
Yeah, I know.
That was me.
Grab it.
When that door opened, I'd be like, boom. I'd be like, straight. I'd probably fall or miss the platform because I was so rushing through. I'd be like, read, try and read as much as possible. Oh my God, she's here. Why is no one watching the door?
Yeah, it's just
there's three of you. Only one.
They did it twice in like the same scene, didn't they? So, not to skip over one of the best bits of the film, but when we
also with the Illuminati, we will go back. Yeah,
but with the escape from Scarlet Witch with America Chavez, Doctor Strange, and Christine, like they did the most egregious kind of horror trope where they just stop and turn and look at
and wait
at where the monster was coming from, and it does a fucking zoom on each character, lasting over 30 seconds or so, and it's just like, we locked her behind the door. Like, it's fucking Scarlet Witch. We've just come from a scene where she murders people. We're gonna get to it, but it's just like, oh my God. I know why they put it in there. It's kind of like a comedy bit to like. Do you know what I mean? Like Sam Raimi, he's a horror director, but he's also like good with like comedy. But I think this just misses the mark.
It's a
parody.
A parody to horror.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes me forgive it
just a little
tiniest bit.
But it's so egregious.
Bit,
the fact that they aren't being as quick as possible after that, once that's happened, that they are being chased and she's literally right there at the door, that they aren't moving as fast as physically possible to try and get to the thing that they've tried to get to the whole movie since the first scene. Since the open, since the Marvel logo is kind of, I'm like, just grab it.
What are you doing? I get it. I get you're doing storytelling, but come on. And it would have been a bit weird to watch him just run up and go, "Oh, we've got it."
Yeah.
And as a movie
less
goer,
dramatic,
movie goer, you'd gone, "Oh,
yeah."
So maybe somewhere in between. I don't know. Jumping back to the best
other
scene.
things to create drama in that sense. Don't just have it like they're stupidly like wasting time.
Maybe use Benedict Cumberbatch's incredible acting ability. Just let him do it. Anyway, we nearly skipped over. So jumping back, Illuminati bit. Yeah. Brilliant reveal. I feel like every time someone joins the room, it's another brilliant bit of fan service. We get Mordo thing. The funny bit being the really overly aggressive Captain Carter. Yeah, not sure what she was trying to achieve there
by throwing the fucking
shield. It was literally just should we have a shot? Let's introduce Captain Carter by throwing her shield. Yeah. It's like
bloody toxic femininity. Am I right?
Literally, just can we not? That's not how Cap would have introduced himself.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Do you know what? That's not how Peggy would have introduced herself. Let's ignore that she's Captain America.
Yeah.
Or a version of it. Peggy would not have done that. We see how she introduced herself. She's really fucking cool and calm and collected, and you just made her go. Ah!
Yeah, just gonna shut.
I'm here. It's like okay.
Shut this set. Yeah.
Anyway, Black Bolt. I know, like Inhumans is god awful, but I kind of like that they kept Black Bolt and the same guy, and I like that actor, and I think, and he plays it very well, apart from one egregious bit, but generally plays it very, very well. Like the bit when they show how after the Strange sit, again without any words because he can't, shows it's still getting to him that he made the thing absolutely fantastic through a mask.
Yeah.
And he manages to act it.
He had to go comic accurate as well.
Accurate. Yeah, that was cool. That was fine.
That's a bold choice.
Mordo
like you said,
in,
to have a fork on his head.
Captain Carter Captain Marvel because she got a why I don't know, but she's there. Other Captain Marvel.
Let's just skip over about decision making.
Monica's mum.
Yeah.
And then there's that bit, and it goes. I feel like I knew it was going to be Reed.
Did you though?
It's Illuminati.
Because you were the one who gasped the loudest in the cinema.
I gasped because who it was.
Okay.
It's the Illuminati, and you've not got Tony.
Yeah.
You had to have at least two of them.
Yeah, fair.
So it was like, okay, they actually had three. It turns out I didn't know about Black Bolt. I didn't actually know about Doctor Strange, but I knew it was generally Xavier, Stark, and Reed. Yeah. So I'm like, you got to have Reed. So and I didn't realize as that thing was appearing, I didn't associate that with Fantastic Four.
No.
So when that was happening, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting. And then it does it, and it's like, and I was like, oh, they fucking pulled the trigger.
And out comes Jack Ryan.
Oh, John Krasinski. Someone way cooler than Jack Ryan.
Jim from The Office.
No, John friggin' Krasinski, who is like anyone who's been paying attention to anything knows that he is the huge fan favorite, almost unanimously for Reed Richards.
He was a nail on since those Reddit posts artwork of him and Emily Blunt as two of the Fantastic Four.
Although I still think it'd be funny if Invisible Woman was Pam. So when that happened, and I've said this to you as well, I don't mind now if that's it of him as Reed Richards. If he's Reed Richards, brilliant.
See, I feel like the Fantastic Four movie is scheduled for not next year, but the year after.
Yeah, quite a lot's going to happen between now and then.
You say that, quite a lot's going to happen between now and then, but I believe it's a short enough period of time, and they must have had him positioned for this cameo at least like a year ago, maybe even more.
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah.
Because of the delays of COVID, it was probably quite a long time ago.
Or do you reckon this is one of the things they did after No Way Home in that 6 weeks?
No. I feel like this was one of those things where it's like we're gonna have Reed Richards in the Illuminati scene for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Also, we want to sign you up in the short term to do that, but in the long term, we want to sign you up to do Fantastic Four. I still think he'll be Reed Richards. I think there's been a positive reaction of him being in it.
There was a positive reaction before he was even in it.
I know. But it could have been Brie Larson. Could have been a Brie Larson effect where everyone wanted Brie Larson to be Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, and now no one was.
No one wants to see him at Captain Marvel film.
I don't think it's. If anything, this film kind of proves that it might not actually be Brie's fault. Maybe it's just Captain Marvel just sucks.
No, it's brief.
It's a little bit
well, no.
this girl.
No, actually, it's a bit of, like the film writing was a bit atrocious, and her acting wasn't.
This girl wasn't
great.
much better.
Yeah,
her best mate wasn't much better.
Not much to go on.
No,
but she didn't use the space as well as Hayley Atwell.
Yeah,
as as John Krasinski, and
Patrick
Stewart.
Oh my God,
seeing him again.
In the not just to
cartoon
accurate theme,
chair.
In the chair,
yeah,
and it's the same. And they didn't.
He looked a bit squished in it.
They didn't go. I mean, yeah, they didn't go. Oh, actually, should we not make it yellow because that'd be
went the full hog.
Sorry, we want it exactly. I think is he wearing? He's not really wearing.
He's just wearing a suit.
He's not wearing clothes. He's wearing a suit. But
do you know what I think that was though? I feel like that was a bit like. I don't even think that was an ode to. It was obviously an ode to the '97 cartoon.
Yeah.
But they're rebooting it, so that's why they did it.
Okay.
Not because everyone loves the '97 cartoon.
It's a little bit of a.
It's because it's coming back and they need to remind you.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Which is okay because both. They still did the reference. So it's just like
I don't care. I don't care how we got there. We got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, mine was
great to see him back.
So I knew Patrick Stewart was in this.
Yeah.
I knew Captain Carter was. Didn't know about Black Bolt, but I'm not bothered. Like
not really.
For me that was like okay. Captain Marvel. I think I knew that. No, I knew she was Captain Marvel. I'm like, okay, cool. But it was generally when that happened, and I'm like, oh, they did it. They pulled the trigger, and it's Krasinski. But no, I am honestly. I agree with you. I think he is mostly fantastic. So, yeah. I think that is, especially after this reaction. Why wouldn't he be? Yeah. But I'm honestly okay if he's not.
Yeah.
Because I like this idea where they're like, look, we're having Mr. Fantastic, want to come in film for a week. Everyone kind of wants you. We're not saying you have to do it for full term, but wouldn't it be just a cool little bit of fan service?
I think he will. Do you know what? Like,
and do you know what? I want him to.
Yeah.
Because if in the time he used, loved him.
Yeah.
Not bad Reed Richards.
No,
They didn't go evil. Correct, Reed Richards. He was so nice.
Yeah, he was nice,
and I loved it.
Even though he had to be firm, because he was literally saying like, "You're the worst thing in the universe." I know. As a smart man, he's made a bad decision there.
Yeah.
But I was a little. Even at the time, I was like, "Wouldn't you just hear him out?" Like, but his experience is, Doctor Strange is the evil one,
and you are a stranger, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
My best friend.
A stranger, Doctor Strange.
And it was clear that they were close.
Yeah.
It very much got the idea that
they were all close.
Worst. I feel like they were all close.
Yeah.
But I feel like Strange, Reed, and Xavier.
Yeah. They were the ones.
Very, very close. Yeah. But then Black Bolt did have, because obviously he had to be the one scared. But I do feel like you got the impression they were all close, but there was like a special friendship there, I think. But it was his reaction when he makes the quip, which is okay in this moment, and he's kind of like when he smirks.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't get annoyed of it. Like the rest of them are very much sort of like a little bit, apart from Xavier, just like, you're Doctor Strange, so you're bad, and we don't like you. We're not talking to you. We're going to judge you, but we're not going to look. We're not going to look at you.
No.
And he was just kind of showed up, and it was just, he says so and he smirks, and it was kind of like he missed his Stephen.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And that was like, the others who were kind of like, we were really close to Stephen, and you remind us of him, and we hate you.
Captain Marvel said that, basically.
Pretty much Marvel. I mean, Peggy kept a very stern face, but no, fine. But no, it was that. But yeah, I liked him. He did very good at the time. The reasoning with Wanda mentioning his kids, so we know what stage of Reed Richards we're at
in that universe.
Yeah, in that universe.
And then they attempted to fight her.
Didn't like that.
No. Why not?
Why were they so? I know we've talked about how powerful she is.
Yeah.
But give me a bit, don't give me a bit of a fight.
No, I thought it was good.
Or if you're going to give me a bit of a fight,
do you know why? Because it really elevated the stakes, because it's like you've just seen.
But then don't let me. But then don't have a fight Marvel and Captain Carter.
Why not?
Because she should have just obliterated all of them. I've obliterated them all really easy.
That's true.
Or don't.
She did get rid of the men very quickly.
The men were no. Do you know? I didn't. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say. I'm not saying it's like that was a girl power moment over that. Not at all. But no. It was more just like either just churn through them, or have a bit. You know, like where they do in the movies thing, where it's sort of like they each have a pop and just lose.
Yeah.
But they each they show off their power set, and it's just not enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a bit of that. Just a little bit of that.
I didn't mind it. I just thought like, because there was just like not as many, or like, you know, because we're British, very very you know, like not showing of our either appreciation or shock usually in the cinema. It was like there were a few gasps when like she just fucking went through them.
Yeah, like really easy. And the choice of
mainly Black Bolt, because she fucking explodes his head.
He explodes his head.
I mean, like,
I didn't realise that until the second watch.
She used her powers to cover his mouth, and it went nowhere but inside his own face.
He
just scrambled his brain.
Didn't instinctly not make a noise.
Yeah, and
he's trained himself to not make a noise.
Yeah,
and he still kind of made it, but he panicked.
And then you know that was one where people were like, oh, and then when Agent Carter gets cut in half after saying she could do it all day.
Yeah,
that was a few people just went, oh, okay, like
shit.
even worse. So it's just like, I thought it was good because it served its purpose.
Did you see?
Turned him into spaghetti.
Turns him into spaghetti, and then right at the end, because obviously I think the idea is Reed has the nerves, he can pretty much stretch himself to anything, but there's something a nerve. I don't know if it's even that, but it stretches right out, and then it gets to his brain, and it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like, oh shit. Okay.
So I think I liked it because it served its purpose.
Yeah.
Because this is another universe.
Yeah.
So
they can kill him. They can do it.
Yeah.
And there's no ramifications. That's fine. But I feel like then just go through all of them.
Yeah.
do one.
No,
Like,
it's
yeah,
alright.
but
They had to have a bit of
fight,
an action scene.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you're gonna have a bit of a match, have a bit of a match of all of them. That's why
I
these
mean, they
guys are-
didn't really do much. Like they weren't.
No.
I think Captain Marvel maybe got in like one punch.
Yeah,
two
she
punches.
just about, and it was she tried.
So it's not like they then were able to fight her. It was just like she was just toying with them, basically.
And it was Captain Carter very much. Cap held his own against Thanos at the end of the day. So, I feel like with the captains, I guess we're going to call them now.
Right.
The captains, they are. If Doctor Strange is the personification of knowledge, they are will.
Mm.
The idea is, I know they've got superpowers, but their very idea of them is that you have these incredibly powerful beings that they are nowhere near in even the same wheelhouse of, but because of their will, they are able to fight them. I feel like that's what their kind of representation
Well, that's why
is.
America was able to. Captain America, sorry,
Yeah.
was able to fight Thanos.
Fight the Phantom, and literally he's the one that moves
just about.
Just will alone, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like the soldier versus the powers and stuff. That's one of my favorite things to play in a video game, is being the soldier without powers against these like huge super. I think it's quite a cool concept, like will alone. So I don't mind if she survived in that bit. I just would have liked a little bit of each of them showing off their powers a bit and then just failing. I think it would have been quite nice. Obviously, maybe not Black Bolt though, because as soon as he showed his powers, he literally that would have been the end of it. So maybe have Kim killed and then just redo a little bit of a stretchy stuff and then maybe wrap her up and then she spaghettis him. I don't know.
We're going to see loads more of it in a couple of years. So
This is very true. And who's the others?
that's true.
It'd be so cool to see who the others. Chris Evans, Human Torch.
Chris Evans as the Thing. He's working his way around the MCU.
The next irritation, he's the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
But so that was the overall very good, like a little stint, sort of
the inclusion of the Ultron bots as well.
It
Nice
was, and you can hear there's that one bit where it is Vader's
I think
voice.
it is Vader,
I don't know if it's pre-recorded
probably
or
a
what,
recording from Ultron.
but
Age of
yeah.
Ultron.
It was sorry, one thing, a little moment. This is jumping right back, and I just was a moment, and I clocked it on the thing, and it's a good. This is where the dialogue was really good. When they're at Carmitage, and they're in the air, and she says about the he makes a decision, and I think she mentioned it twice, but she said about giving the time stone thing. Obviously, you're kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. I thought about it afterwards. Because he gave, and I'm sure the audience realize this, but I think it's such a powerful moment to worth acknowledging. She blames him, not just because, I killed Vision just for Thanos to reverse it. The reason Thanos was able to reverse it is because of the time stone.
Yep.
So she literally directly. I know it's so obvious. I know it's obvious, but I feel like it's such a nice, good storytelling moment. I want to mention it.
It was a good reveal of could it been done anyway? And he's just like, no. And then she just looks at you can tell that she's just like, it's confirmed, it's your fault. Do you know what I mean? It's your fault.
Yeah.
If you'd said yes, then it's just like, okay, you might have done it for a reason, but it could have gone differently.
Yeah.
But it's just like, no, he had to die, and it had to be Stephen giving him the time stone.
Yeah. As I said, I'm not trying to be like, clever or spot there like that. I know everyone has clocked that, but it's such good storytelling. I feel like it's worth noting. So anyway, we do Live Night Fit. After then we have the chasing, which we have covered. To be fair, Val won the chase like that. Well, that was good. Very horrible. I know with the stopping bit is a bit annoying, but up until that point, so good. And by that point, because she's the glass and stuff, she's leaping. It's very horror vibes. Like the villains leaping, like bleeding from the face in oil and stuff, and just limping their way through on that final kind of very final
very
girl
monster
scene sort of like going on. Shang-Chi's thing. But then when she grabs America, and I love it whenever she does the whole where she's playing with people's minds, the close up of her hand and that, and she's just able to control the powers. Fucks them over. I don't know why she doesn't kill him.
Don't know.
Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's plot armor, basically.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could argue maybe she's feeling spiteful at that bit. She just wants them to get lost. Probably knows where she's throwing them. Maybe, I don't know. Throws them in, and then does that brilliant thing. And it's as much as it's a star, I love the whole and it's like that's how she chooses where she goes. Quite a cool thing. And then that the scene. Yeah, I like that. And just from there, it's just. she's so good. She's just so good at seeing. Like I can see I feel like I could watch scenes of Wanda. Well, you kind of do see it in this. You have them in the same scene, but you can see Wanda and you can see Scarlet Witch. There, and although they have a lot of similarities, it's two completely different characters. It's Darth Vader and Anakin. It is two different entities altogether. And she just honest. Elizabeth Olsen's such a good actress, so good. But yeah, so then they've got the bit, and then his immediate no more Shang-Chi goes full Strange, and which every Doctor Strange does, and they're like, I'm gonna have to use the Darkhold, even after saying you wouldn't use the Darkhold.
Yeah.
As that, and I like that scene between him and the other Doctor Strange. I think it's really, really good scene. I like that kind of like crap there, and he goes in and like it's a bit. I'm not sure how I feel about the sister thing. That whole scene about prove that you're me. I'm kind of like, does he need to prove that you're like really?
There's no one else left in this universe.
No, and I feel like you've both each got a magical power. I know I keep relying on their magical powers, but you must have some sort of sight where you can see if it's you or not at this point. I don't know. You've just been dreamwalking so much in that you must know what you look like. It was a little bit of a let's get really serious for no reason now, and I'm like. And I know it does add to the character to an extent because now we know why he wants to save everyone. But at the same time, he doesn't have an obsession with wanting to save everyone.
Not really, no.
Because the whole reason he has to crash, he's in the middle of turning down serious surgeries.
Yeah.
He's
doing it for his own ego.
His comes from ego, not from a place of caring.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to save it. It's not that's a Tony Stark trait.
Very Tony Stark.
And it probably would have been a nice little touch for Tony Stark actually. But yeah, the whole she felt you're just like, and she felt. Do you know? I know it sounds terrible. It was such a cliche American sibling death. We were on the ice and she broke through and I couldn't save her. It was like, as like every other American.
That's up there with my mum and dad died coming back from a skiing holiday.
Yeah,
or a skiing
ship, or they were on a ship in the older days. It was that they died at sea.
Yeah.
God. It's just a bit.
I kind of glossed over that bit. Yeah. I was just like, okay.
But the dialogue that happens afterwards and stuff like that, once they do realize who they are, and him again, another nice little like innocent turned sinister sort of thing, and I like that reveal where he's like, I lost the dog, and it's very much like, this is a guy that's been corrupted by the Darkhold, but not quite. He's kind of like managed, but he's now haunted by that. And then it's the whole like him. He was just trying to find a world where he could be. He was Black Widow. He was trying to. All he wanted was a world where he had the perfect life. He was the same storyline as her, which I liked. Good mirror.
As Scarlet Witch, you mean?
Sorry, Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
I was like,
Black Widow.
Black
Sorry,
Widow?
someone did it to me earlier, and I was like, sorry, Scarlet Witch as Wanda. Exact same motivation. We're now seeing Stephen with her motivation.
Yeah.
I thought that was a brilliant mirror. Great little parallel. And then it's just the way he's like, did you ever have that dream where you were falling? That was probably me. That was a brilliant. And then again, Cumberbatch's face, just like when Elizabeth Olsen, it just turns, and then the eye kind of. No, did the eye appear there?
Yeah, I think it did.
And you're kind of like, oh shit! And that fight is so. The thing I love about that fight is I don't know this. This is all a theory. We've had this conversation. Is I feel like Danny Elfman requested it.
What the fight?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like he went, look. They're magic. Can we have a magic fight where I just get to go shit crazy with orchestra?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like, I'm Danny Elfman. Can we please have a magic fight? Please, Kevin. Can we put a magic fight in it? Or would it have been Sam? Please, Sam. Can we put a magic fight in
that particular universe and that particular location were very, very Tim Burton-esque, very much Danny Elfman's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know? So,
and it's like, should we just do a fight where they're fighting with music? And honestly, and you listen to it, it's great music.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And
I've been listening to the soundtrack.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's good.
But it's not just great music. It's Danny Elfman. It's very much his Elfman, signature is there, and I love it. And the whole fight is just, you can see him just almost like, yes. This is every orchestra. This is every musician's dream to be magic and wonder. Like
well, it's definitely Danny Elfman's dream just to have those scenes again. You know?
Yeah, just to have like, and it was, brilliant. But I thought it was a really creative, really, like, it fits into what Joe was saying. He just loved how they just kept stacking insanity on opposite, like, same moments with same moment. And it's like, should we have them have a magic music fight?
Yeah,
yeah.
why
And
not?
then with the sheet music appear thing, and they catch it,
that was,
and then they
that was cool.
so cool,
Very
really
out
cool.
there.
Yeah, and
I didn't know what the hell was going on at
I
first.
know,
So I
right?
was just like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Why is he catching the papers? And
Yeah.
stuff like that is
Making them into like real weapons.
I loved it. So good. And like, yeah, and it was, and it like does it with the thing, and they're like fighting off, and then it just the one little note, and that's what wins and stuff. Very graphical death.
Yeah, no.
Graphic death.
Very graphic death.
Graphic, just he could have just. I feel like the fall would have killed him,
Yeah.
but they were like, no,
Yeah.
let's impale him on those spikes.
Yeah.
And then the eye thing, I think.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that was cool. And then he's already, she goes in, and it's like, well, yeah, we are all the same, but I can't see another way. And it's like, okay, but I kind of like that, because I hate, sometimes it gets a bit tedious with this whole like, you're showing all the same patterns, but you're going to last minute, and I know they kind of do that, but it's like, you're showing all the same patterns, but you're not going to do that thing that the others did.
Yes.
And then they do, because you're just that,
very much
you're all the
trope.
same, but you're different.
Yeah.
He wasn't. The idea is he's not different.
He's really not.
He made one better decision in that another moment, but in another moment he might have made. As I was saying, in another moment you can see him making the decision from the first Strange, Ice Strange. I don't know. He looked like he had ice magic.
Ice Strange.
Ice Strange. Ponytail Strange.
Dr. Slush Puppy.
Dr. Blue.
And then we get the introduction of Doctor Strange, deceased.
Yes.
So
Ponytail. Zombie Ponytail Strange.
Yeah.
Zombie Strange.
Zombie Strange. And Zombie Be Strange. He I think I loved it, and I don't know where these demons came from at the end.
Oh,
they were like inside him, or
no? I
because
feel like
he was dead.
I feel like they explained it. He said, "You're gonna have to defend me," and she's like, "What?" It's the Book of the Damned, first of all.
Yeah.
So there's somewhere within it, I guess. And he said, "You're gonna have to defend me because I'm crossing over into their territory, because you're not supposed to possess a dead body."
Yeah.
So she hadn't been possessing dead bodies, so they wouldn't show up for her.
Yeah.
The only one in his universe was a dead one, so he crossed the line.
Yep.
You're gonna have to defend me, and they do, and they can't, even when they're going like, "You broke the laws." I quite liked them.
Yeah, I like them. Yeah,
I really liked
cool,
them. There was something really cool. I want to see more of them, or I want
They
to
were
know
very
the lore.
horrified,
I want to at
which
least know
was
the
cool.
lore behind them, or something. Like, where are they coming from?
That's what I'm saying. They were just like in his eyes. Like,
yeah, I think the idea is it's the dark. They're coming from the dark hold and that sort of thing, or they're almost coming from the Zombie Strange in a sense. That sort of, but
I might need to rewatch it just.
But I liked that. It was a cool like little element. I like the thing of the, and when he said like the souls of the damned, I'm like, oh, how are they going to do this? And I know they were very CGI creatures and stuff like that, but I was happy. I really like their design.
I like
thought
their
they were
design.
cool design, and a good little payoff with the thing. And I like that's where one good bit of dialogue. So when he getting dragged down and she manages to help him come back,
Dragged to hell.
and then she uses that thing to blow them away. That's fine. He said, I know it's silly because they're like these spirits and stuff. How come was she able to beat him with that magical weapon? One, it's a magical weapon, so that's fair enough. And he's literally said, "You're gonna have to defend me." He knows what they are. So if he thought they were unfathomable beating, he wasn't going to go, "Oh, by the way, defend me, person with no powers." He obviously knew that they were relatively
Powerful.
squishy.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of squishy, aren't they?
They're kind of squishy.
She blew him away, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then, but it did seem like they were finished anyway. It was more that she blew to a cover away. They probably would have come back, and that's where she reassures him, like, you're the master of mystic arts. They're spirits. Use them. And I'm like, oh, okay,
Very cool.
And then a really cool scene. And I one of my favorite things about Doctor Strange is watching him do his magic. Like, it's the polar opposite to whatever that idiot in Eternals is called.
What, Kingo?
Yeah. No. The technology guy.
Couldn't tell you. Terrible movie.
Whatever his name is, but
Tried to block it.
I
from
love
my memory.
watching Stark. I love watching Stark do tech.
Yeah.
Doing his tech and stuff. And Strange is a very similar thing, but I love watching Strange's hand movements and all the stuff. It is so great. And if you watch as well, like, I feel like, I don't know if he's being told it or directed it or he's doing it himself. He's not just doing the same thing over and over.
No, yeah, that's good.
It's all very much like
all very unique.
And it reflects as well as thing. And him just grabbing him in and like it's just bringing him down and then they become essentially become his new cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And then flies out brilliant little fight scene. Throwing them around Wanda was a cool little scene and stuff as well, and them tormenting her. I kind of wanted a bit of dialogue from them on her, but they didn't really do that.
Let me get America learning to use her powers.
Slamming her fist into her hand.
Yes.
Oh no, she learns to use her powers because she's told that she could do it all along, and then everyone knows that the combination of being told that you had the power all along and slowly clenching
Your
a fist is the only way to learn to do power.
I mean, that falls under
belief,
the
isn't it?
umbrella
It's
of just like it's a movie. So do you know what I mean? Like it's a movie.
It's kind of got some real world grounding with the whole like there's that whole. It was a psychological block. She broke the psychological block by believing. That's fine. That happens. People do that. They do generally do that. So I'm kind of like, and like you said, it's a movie, and the message for. It's nice to see a nice message, whether you're a kid or a grown up. Learning to believe and control your demons.
Ferociously,
it's just nice.
Ferociously cheesy, being
so
like
cheesy.
It was in you all along. Like
it was in you all along,
like love or the spirit of Christmas.
Spirit of Christmas, and it's just. Do you know what? It wasn't. It was in you all along that bugged me both. It was the slow clenching of a fist.
Yeah.
So cliche.
Just like he was right.
And she doesn't even like. What's really annoys me is she doesn't really do a fist. It's really kind of a bit of a weak fist. She does that thing where you're like you can't see me, but I'm doing like an angled fist.
Yeah,
whereas a fist has a straight top.
Thumb over your
thumb. She might as well have grabbed her thumb, and it's just sort of like it's a bit like, look, I can see that you throw punches. You know how to throw a punch. Make a fist.
Yeah, just.
But but it's okay. Let's just do that, and then she breaks free. He does the whole like, I'm not going to take your power. You've got the power. That sort of thing. She gets up, has a bit of a fight, but then. What I did like is they didn't do the thing like, oh, she suddenly all of her power realized it at once, and now she knows what she can beat Wanda. She's like, oh, Wanda's still Wanda.
Yeah, of course.
So after being caught by surprise and then going no,
no, yeah,
and then that was a good little like,
you can't beat her by beating her up.
Beating her, she can only beat herself. The reason I'm okay with the quick turn. And I thought this at the time, back to representation sort of thing like that. And I think it's a good message for right now to something like that. The beauty of reason, like the power of reason and genuine reason, not delusion. So Wanda and Scarlet Witch all through this is delusion. She is delusion. That's why no matter what you can't convince, no matter what you tell her, what you're trying to reason with her, you try to reason with her, you can't. Because she has this, it's the Darkhold anyway manipulating her, and it's this idea, and she is deluded. Something snaps her out of the deluded, and she just, all you have to do, and this happens in real life, as soon as someone has an ounce of reason kicks in, and genuine reason, it can completely change everything. And that's what this was. It wasn't her like, oh, she suddenly realised it was good, it was the power of love. It's not that, it's seeing the kids scared of her. Her past, her other self, who she's just manipulating, kind of like not forgiving or something like that. It's a bit of like a power love sort of thing to it, but it was just suddenly the Darkhold couldn't do anything or delude her because reason kicked in, and once reason kicked in, she saw everything for what it was, and I think that was quite cool.
Yeah, it was a good ending.
It was a good
with in terms of the fight, and you know, because it wasn't your stereotypical Marvel ending. Of a fight. I mean, I know there's a formula where like, oh, big end fight, someone dies in a creative way, or just like, you know, like Team Rocket's away, and
they do that,
and then I'm just like, this is a good escape from having those, you know, especially in the last few movies, it's been very. Big battle at the end, someone dies, or you know, I know they're not they don't die in No Way Home, but they are defeated, you know, or especially like Green Goblin. I know they changed and it's all very Disney-fied, but they are defeated and it's all resolved and they go home.
The similar theme with the reason thing is not so much of sort of Octopus, but that was more that was less reason and more rationality kind of like took over, sanity took back over. But I feel like it could be used to explain Electro.
Yeah, maybe.
So Electro, his was actually no. I think his was.
I don't
less-
think so.
No, that's not reason. That's more.
He just lost his power, and then he was
had
like, "All right, I give up."
I'm power. Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't have the power anymore,
Yeah.
so he wasn't corrupt by it. That sort of thing.
But this was
Cleansed,
that was a
more
departure from the formula of,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Marvel. So
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
yes,
So.
yeah,
And yeah, it was a good end to it. And then she realizes the error of her ways, and with the Darkhold being this throne room now and not a book, so she's just like, okay, bring it all down,
yeah. And we do,
leaving the fate ambiguous.
and unfortunately,
She's very powerful.
One of our main gripes with this, we've not actually mentioned it much as well, but is the dialogue. There's some very handhold dialogue, and
Right at the end,
that's the worst one. The worst one, and it's the whole she destroyed the dialogue she destroyed the Darkhold in all universes. Yeah.
How? Like,
Oh no, yours was a how. Mine's like a yeah. Like I got that from the other book burning up. I feel like I assumed that.
oh, okay.
I'm
I'm both. Like that was
never
never on the table.
yeah.
To our knowledge, never on the table. But then, like, even when it happened, I was like, right, okay. And then Doctor Strange having to tell you all, but even though they're visually showing you the
it burning
stuff
up in another universe.
Yeah.
I know. I kind of assumed.
No, I was just like, all right, okay.
But
Didn't
it
know
was
that
a
was
bit
on the
like,
table when you take down the thingamajig.
But what was worse was
Darkhold
the follow-up
Temple.
lines, and it was like she destroyed the Darkhold in all the universes, and then she goes, "So she made the right decision." And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like,
God,
the fuck.
some of it was just so
She's
bad.
just killed so many of your friends.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like it's like she killed 80 people in 2 days.
Yeah. It is like that.
She's a witch. Like I don't know. Yeah, it was.
But I mean, there were those, but
never mind. All your friends. Fair enough. Killed all of his friends.
Yeah.
Like is close individuals. I can't. She must see them every day. But with what is she called? What is Rachel McAdams called? Christine.
Yeah.
Killed her colleagues and her
Bosses, basically.
heroes.
Yeah.
Bosses / heroes.
Yeah.
And it's like she made the right decision. Yeah. After she murdered
After
everyone.
all the murder.
So much murder. It was just like it would be more like she's gone now. that would have been a better line. Well, at least she's gone now.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. But she destroys the temple.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the most powerful being in the universe.
I think that's the idea.
So she's probably not dead, but
Oh no, I think she is.
no,
You
she's
see,
definitely not dead.
so you see a red.
No.
But what we
No, you
bringing
see
up-
the red flash, and
Yeah,
that's
the red
her
flash.
like
Teleporting.
escaping. Yeah.
Teleporting. But I don't need to see any more one now. Like what if
Not
she's,
for a while. Yeah.
or if she's coming back? No redemption. I don't want to Loki.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, so, I mean,
No, they will because of Disney, but
it's Disney, and to be fair, they've killed about the same amount of people. In
Pretty
the
much,
same amount of
yeah,
time.
very much, yeah.
80 people, 800 people in two. Was it 82 people in 2 days?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. She's a twin. I don't know.
Yeah, but I liked the movie.
Yeah, I did like it. Was good.
And we got a post-credit scene
Well, even the last note. Say before we get to the scene, it's worth talking about the last little bit.
seeing.
She's now going to be
America.
training as a sorcerer. I thought that was interesting way to go. I feel like it would have made more sense if she was there practicing her powers.
Yeah, rather than sorcerer magic.
But then again, I don't feel like this is guesswork. This is just me doing a theory, which an okay version of a theory.
Right, okay.
Maybe the idea is she's
I'll be
training
the
with
judge of
them as a discipline
Okay, got you. Yeah.
because of her
Like
powers.
she's
she
learning.
learns-
Her powers are Italian, and she's also learning Greek.
or
all
on
different
that analogy.
disciplines.
On that analogy, so Italian
Different
is a
languages.
Latin-based one. It's very difficult to learn. She's learning French first,
Okay,
and
all
it's something like that. I
interesting
don't know.
choice.
She's just I feel like it's a discipline. It's like I feel maybe it's a
Disney
step in,
Plus
like,
series coming soon.
learn,
America in
learn
Paris.
what we can teach you, and then we will translate. Because how can anyone teach her to use her powers? No one else has her powers.
That's true.
So maybe it's like we'll teach you what we know, and then you can apply that discipline to. We're guessing.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
guessing
guessing,
theory
totally
sort of thing
guessing.
like that. But they didn't. To be fair, that wasn't them. They didn't give us anything where they're like, "Oh, you fucked up there." That's just we've decided to make a theory, so that's okay. Bit of a weird interaction at the end.
Yeah,
but I
very
kind of
weird.
liked it because it was kind of real. It was how a kid will kind of be like to this person, but it was a bit cheesy. Like, where she
Very
goes,
cheesy.
Wait, sup.
Jesus Christ.
And then just like the
Cringe.
made some sparks. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
You're like, I'm really glad I came to your universe. So am I, kid.
Oh my God. When you're saying it back to me, this is just the worst.
So am I, kid. So am I.
Oh my God. What year is this?
Um,
It's like an 80s movie.
and then obviously it closes the portal or something, but it's just like, oh my God. And then we get the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
I've looked up who she is.
Is it Clea or is it Clee?
Clea. It's
Clea.
Clea.
Yeah, Clea. Yeah.
So it's Clea or Clea.
Yeah.
She is, and I know
Charlie's
Joe's. She is Charlotte. So basically, I looked it up, and Joe, when you're listening to this, I confirm she is Charlize Theron's true form. That's what she is. She's playing. She's Charlize Theron playing Charlize Theron because that's her. She can actually do all that in real life. No, I looked her up. She is a character that's in. She's basically a Doctor Strange love interest.
Yeah.
She is Dormammu's niece from
Right.
and that's why you see Dormammu's universe.
Yeah.
Because that's
The
where
Dark
she's
Universe,
from.
I want to say.
Yeah, I think Dark Universe, something like that.
Yeah.
That's where she's from. She's
The
Dormammu's.
Badlands.
She's Dormammu's incredibly humanoid, attractive niece.
Look, mate, they've just had a movie where I'm supposed to believe through all of these multiverses, through all of these things that have happened,
I know.
through everything from magic existing, from there being a man who's called Spider-Man who shoots webs, from literally all of the other shit, all of these aliens. And you're telling me that Harry Styles is Thanos' brother?
Do you know the greatest?
No,
I don't know if it's atrocity or anything like that. Look up, and my brother, this is George Fairtrade Clayton, went, they would not have picked Harry Styles unless he looked like the character. I was like, Bud, there's no way he looked like the character. Look up.
Does he?
Thanos'
Oh my
brother,
God.
pre the film. So
Yeah.
this hasn't been drawn anything. It's friggin' Harry Styles.
Oh my God.
Honestly.
Oh.
It's like, what? What?
As if
Why isn't he purple?
the
Where's his
Eternals,
chinny beard?
as if the Eternals couldn't get any worse.
I know. But
I
yeah.
actually like Harry Styles.
I love
as an
him,
actor,
Harry
he's pretty
Styles.
good.
I kind of, a little bit of me,
But it
thinks-
is a little
I
bit
feel
cringy.
Like him at the end is the best thing of the Eternals.
Yeah, probably.
Because
It's because there's so many
I
questions.
like so many questions. I don't care anything about the Eternals. I hope he ditches
no,
them. I
yeah.
don't need to see more of him scenes with them, but I want to see him meet the other Avengers. I think it's going to be so cool without the weird little leprechaun thing, or at least the CGI improved.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a shame because the actor did the leprechaun thing. Fucking love him.
This mid-credit scene though,
So yeah, clear
is so like. I mean, she comes out of nowhere. She is just like,
Oh, we skipped a bit. So
He gets the third eye.
It finishes and has a panic in the third eye.
Yeah.
But then in the time it takes us to watch the credits, sort
Yeah.
out the third eye.
yeah, he sorted it out. Yeah,
You
it
can
really
control it
undermines
now.
that.
You can really control it a little bit.
Really terrible. They should have had that as part of that.
Yeah. If anything, don't have him have the pain in the third eye appear.
Yeah.
If you want to do the clear scene, make it go then.
Yeah.
And then you'll be
That's
like,
what I mean,
what the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really awkward, her introduction.
Yeah,
Just-
it was.
Just going to put it out.
Incredibly. That didn't fit at all. Very
No.
bizarre. And it's, do you know what it is?
It's like they were run out of time as well.
Also, an incursion is awful. And he knows it's awful, and she
Yeah.
must know it's awful. She shows up, says, Doctor Strange, you made an incursion, and now you're going to help me fix it. Fuming with him.
yeah.
Are you up for this?
Yeah, I know, right?
And
Totally different vibe.
And then he kind of goes, yeah. And he just grabs
Yeah.
this thing really cool.
Again, what year
flips
is
it
this?
round, and like that, I'm like, mate, you just found out you caused an incursion. You know that you must be devastated.
This is a grave threat, and you're not Ferris Bueller.
You must be devastated.
Exactly.
That's the thing you've been trying not to do. You've seen
Yeah.
what it does.
There's
must
two
be
universes
absolutely
colliding.
devastated. And she's like, you caused an incursion. He's
Yeah.
like, well, let's go fix it, baby.
Yeah.
He might as well have said that.
Yeah.
He might as well have said, let's go fix it, baby.
Jumps in his white
Flicks
80s Ferrari.
Flicks the thing around.
Yeah.
I did. Do you know what? Sorry, with the flick the cloak thing around, I fucking love
The one at
that
the wedding.
first. Fucking love it.
Yeah, it's great.
That is, I'm all for rule of cool. That was just so cool. When, from the second he's sitting there drinking and you see him notice something, I'm like, please,
gonna
please, Doctor Strange, the fuck out of this like entrance. And he walks out. He's got a martini. He's in a suit. finishes the martini, drops it like that. Oh, it's so good. And then enters the fray. You're like, yeah, at a wedding where the love of your life just got married, that's the best thing that can happen.
Yeah.
That's honestly the best thing that can happen. Sorry, I've got to go save the world.
A reason to get out of there.
Oh, the only way it could have been improved if he suddenly like put the martini down, grabs a bird, dipped her, and then took off. Like so many problems in modern day, but all for it. But yeah, yeah. So and it was it was that again, wasn't it? With the I thought the scarf being the cloak. Okay, I'm cool. I'm okay with that. Although you've shown in another scene that he doesn't need to hide the cloak in another object. Whatever. And it's just the way like you create an incursion. Honestly, he should have been like,
"Oh no,
the fuck!" And
yeah.
he's just like, "Well, we better go fix this." And I'm like, "Ah!" And then they just then and it's the jump.
Yeah, that's just it's very cringy.
Oh, and then end of credit scene, just a classic Marvel nowadays where they love to make you wait the entire, and credits are not short now.
They are not short.
They're longer than they've ever been. The entire credits for a funny, and you're like, oh, really?
I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking about just looking up the end credit scenes first, just to see what they are.
I'm getting to a point where I will watch mid, and then skip end, and then watch it.
Watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point.
I was like, why did I?
We've been burnt so many times recently that it's just like you wait all the way to the end, and it's just like, even if it is a quote unquote serious one, it's so bad that I'm just like, that was not worth it.
Or wait till it's on Disney Plus and just fast forward.
Whereas you know, phase 1 and most of phase 2, most of them, like especially phase 1, that's the obviously the that's the best ones.
Yes.
It made sense, and it was the perfect amount of tease,
and each one set up the next film.
But this shit is just like, fucking hell, man. Like they don't know what they're doing with most of them.
Also, as a kind of like callback reference from that thing, the guy be dead, right?
Who? Sorry.
The guy who was punching himself for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like some sort of brain trauma.
You
did
would,
he eat?
you
Did he drink? Like
how?
Also, a bit of a weird cameo.
Was a weird cameo.
Like the guy from Evil Dead. Like okay,
Bruce Campbell.
Other than Evil Dead, is this just a reference to Evil Dead?
I mean, he's just a friend of Sam Raimi, you know. So.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? That makes it better.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. That makes it.
That's why he's in all the Spider-Man films.
That's a ration. Fuck, he's in all the Spider-Man films.
Yeah, and he was going to be Mysterio in the 5th one.
I'm actually sorry. Yeah, he's in all the Spider. I forgot he's almost become a bit of a sub Stan Lee, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine.
It would have been the theory that in the 4th one he'd been Mysterio.
The whole time.
He'd been the Mysterio the whole time.
Yeah,
I think it would have been a cameo. You know, one of those things where it's like Spider-Man's taking down someone at the beginning of the movie. You know, like that who's like a sub character.
Yeah.
You know, that's he would have been that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But yeah, Bruce Campbell.
Like that bit. Okay, no, I do, and I like the actor. It's cool.
Yeah.
But right. So,
what are we going to do it out of? The hardest bit of the podcast.
Always this. It will be out of something really, really kind of like schlocky. Out of green foresty minotaurs.
Yeah, out of random minotaurs
species,
subspecies.
No, it's too no. It's not as quick. It's not.
We could have done it. Could do out of out of 5 one-eyed tentacle monsters.
Yeah,
I feel like that was very like out of very like
out of 5 tentaclopses.
Tentaclopses, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Right, so what are you giving it out of 5 tentaclopses?
5 tentaclopses. I will give this because it was enjoyable, it was good, and I feel like it held its level of good. A few problems with it other than that. I'm going to give this, and I need to confirm that I have officially lowered Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Before I say this one. Shang-Chi is a 2. I'll give this 3.5.
Yes.
I think 3.5 because it's the usual rationalization of it where I didn't just... 3 is I actually enjoy 3s.
Yeah.
This gave me a little bit more than that.
Of course, I enjoy 2s. I think anything like Sorry, 2.5. Like,
Yeah.
anything that's like a 2 is
Yeah.
like, I appreciate the craft of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
There's
then,
some funny moments there.
yeah, but after 2.5 is when it's
No, but
enjoyable.
I did really enjoy this. So, and even talking about it on reflection, I really enjoyed this. It was what I've said. My comparison to No Way Home is the reason I'm thinking they're on par, is because
Different dynamics, though.
different dynamics. But I find them on par in rating because Spider-Man 2 was okay and then brilliant. It's like a film of two parts.
Yeah.
This was good all the way through.
Yeah, solid.
It was solid, all good all the way through.
Entertaining.
And it was just a lot of things I liked about it. So yeah, I'm gonna say, 3.5.
Wow.
For this one.
Yeah, and I'm going to go 3.5 as well. Same reasons. There are some bits that I'm really like that is what brings it down.
Yeah.
Mainly dialogue.
And it's not all dialogue.
Yeah.
I've got to emphasize that it's not all the dialogue.
No.
It's enough of it. It's too much of it.
Yeah, there's just points in the dialogue where it really dips.
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah. Not necessarily hand holding, but just some actual just dialogue.
And so much so that when I'm watching it, I'm like, that I'm able to identify that is what brings it down straight away.
Yeah.
But loads of stuff are amazing about it, like the visuals.
Yeah.
Seeing it in IMAX, that was great, as per usual.
The acting.
Yeah,
Despite
it's
the
good
dialogue,
acting.
acting is just
Yeah.
delivers on all. Everyone's really good. Oh, sorry. I really, really like. As much as we've taken the mick a little bit, America Chavez. I'm ready for more America Chavez.
Yeah, she was
I liked
good.
the character. I
wasn't going to say she's alright. She was good.
I enjoy her. I know it seems like we're building to some sort of Young Avengers, almost definitely.
Yeah.
So she's obviously going to be another addition to that, and I'm looking forward to her. I liked her as a character. So I'm very temperamental when it comes to teenage characters, as you know. Like, don't like any of the kids from Jurassic Park films. Just all of them suck. But this, I like her. I feel like the actress was very good.
It's going to be very interesting when we get to our
interesting.
Miss Marvel, seeing as she's front and center. So I know you're like,
I'm already swinging the right way for Kamala because I know the character a little bit and I do like her.
It seems like her intention of having powers is just so that she can have powers. That's not a good enough reason to have powers.
Who's that?
Kamala Khan in the new series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get to that.
Oh,
so,
okay, that'd be interesting.
But
They might ruin Kamala for me. Okay.
She was America Chavez was good. She was good.
She was good.
I'm a little bit on the
Same
fence.
par with the film. Same par. Obviously, like
a little
fair
bit.
enough. Okay, fair enough. But no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed her little dynamic with. She wasn't an annoying teenager, but she was believable in the way she spoke.
Yes, yeah. I don't think she was annoying.
No,
annoying
I know she
teenager.
said like a couple of times, and the way she explains things, it's kind of like that. I'm like, yeah, but that's how a girl her age would talk.
Yeah.
It's not, but I don't feel like it's being forced. Like, oh, anyway, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
She's not Sprite from Eternals.
Exactly.
That is bad. That is bad.
Oh, one day we just won't have to mention that film. If Marvel came out and went, guys, it never happened.
Yeah.
The only way, and we can, and this is, everyone agrees now, we can say it never happened. Yeah. I'd accept that.
See, a universe where the Eternals doesn't exist. That's my multiverse of madness.